Hello students, in the previous class we discussed about AP, correct? So today also we'll do some more questions related to AP there. So shall we start? Okay, so all of you just check questions are there with you so we can directly frame the solution there. So in that first question is written, if the sum of m terms of an AP is equal to the sum of n terms. So what is given in the question? Sum of m terms is equal to sum of n terms. Usually we denote it by Sm only. Okay. Now what we have to find? We have to find the sum of first m plus n terms. It doesn't mean that we have to calculate Sm plus Sn. We have to calculate Sm plus n. So we can check from the given information what we can derive there. Okay. So Sm, according to the formula, it will be equal to m by 2 into 2a plus m minus 1 into d is equal to Sn can be written as n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Is it clear? Now we can check how we can simplify it. Just to check, if we will shift this 2 to right hand side, this 2 will go to numerator there and that 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So to reduce one step, what we will suppose? We will suppose that these 2's, they are cancelled. So remaining these terms will be there. Now what we will do? M will get multiplied inside. Then we can check what will come. Here it will be equal to 2am plus m into m minus 1. So it will be equal to m square minus m into d is equal to, here we will get 2an plus n square minus n into d. Now what we will do? We'll shift all the expression to one side there. So it will be equal to 2am plus m square minus m into d minus 2an minus of n square minus n into d equal to 0. Now we can check how we can arrange the term so that a common factor should come outside there. So for that we can arrange in this way. Like in first and third term we have 2a common factor. So take it outside. 2a taken common. Inside the bracket what will remain? M minus n. Now from remaining two terms, what is the common factor in remaining two terms? Yes, d taken outside. Inside the bracket what will remain? M square minus m. This minus sign will get multiplied inside. Then we will get minus n square minus into minus plus n equal to 0. Now 2a into m minus n will write down as it is plus d into, here also we can check how we can arrange so that we should get m minus n as a common factor there. So you can check in these two terms only a difference of negative sign is there. Now how we can arrange this one? This one just to check, it is m square minus n square. How we can rewrite m square minus n square? Yes, it can be written as m plus n into m minus n. Now from these two terms I am taking negative sign common. So when we will take a negative sign outside, sign will change there. Negative will become positive and positive will become negative equal to 0. Now just to check, this is our first term, second term and third term. So in all the terms, whether we have any common factor? Yes, we have m minus n a common factor. So take it outside there. M minus n taken outside. Now inside the bracket what will remain? In the first term only 2a will be remaining plus d into, in the next term from here m minus n taken common. So remaining it is equal to m plus n. Now from here m minus n took common. This minus sign is there. So minus 1 equal to 0. Now this m minus n we can shift to right hand side. So 0 divided by m minus n will be equal to 0. So what is remaining with us? 2a plus. Usually we are writing d afterwards. So I am just writing this d afterwards there. M plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 0. So from the given expression we derived that 2a plus m plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 0. Now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate s m plus n. So according to the formula, Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. In place of n, now what we have? M plus n. So it will be equal to m plus n by 2 into 2a plus m plus n minus 1 into d. Now can you tell me what is the value of this one? 2a plus m plus n minus 1 into d. Just to check the previous step. 2a plus m plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 0. So this expression will become now 0, and 0 multiplied by anything will be equal to 0. So s m plus n is equal to 0. So I hope this question is clear. Okay. Now we can check the next question. In the next question it is written, if the sum of first P, Q and R terms of an AP are A, B and C respectively. Usually we denote the first term of the AP as small letter A. But already since in this question small letter A is used, I am taking the first term of the AP as capital letter A. So you just write down there, let A be the first term. Let A be the first term and D be the common difference of the AP. D be the common difference of the AP. Common difference of the AP. Why we have taken capital A as the first term? Because small letter A is already used in the given question. Now just to check what is given. Sum of first P terms is equal to A. Means the information given is SP is equal to A. Then SQ is equal to B. And then it is written SR is equal to C. And we have to prove there. Okay. So now first we can write down the formula. We'll check what will come when we will use the formula there. So according to the formula, SP means it will be equal to P by 2 into 2A plus P minus 1 into D is equal to A. Now just to check in the proof what is given there. In that we need A by P. So here we have A here. By P mean we need there. So this P. Can we shift this P to right hand side? Yes. Then it will be equal to A by P is equal to A by P is equal to. Here in denominator 2 is remaining there. So that we can write as half of 2A plus P minus 1 into D. Is it clear how we wrote this one? First we wrote the formula for SP, and after that, since in the proof there we need A by P. So that's why shifted this P to right hand side. Then it will go to denominator. A by P is equal to half into 2A plus P minus 1 into D. Now similarly SQ will be equal to Q by 2 into 2A, just write down here capital letter A because we used capital letter A as the first term of the AP. Okay. Now Q by 2 into 2A plus Q minus 1 into D is equal to B is given. So again in the proof we need there B by Q. So we'll shift this Q here, then it will be equal to B by Q is equal to half into 2A plus Q minus 1 into D. Okay. Now similarly can we write what will be C by R? Okay. So C by R will be equal to half into 2A plus R minus 1 into D. So I hope this is clear how we wrote it directly. Okay. Now what we have to prove, we will write down the left hand side of that expression there. Don't write there it is equal to 0. That we have to prove. So whenever you are proving something, just write down there left hand side. In the left hand side it is written A by P into Q minus R plus B by Q into R minus P plus C by R into P minus Q. Now we'll substitute the value. A by P, what we wrote here, A by P, half into 2A plus P minus 1 into D multiplied by Q minus R. In place of A by P, substituted the value there, and then this expression is multiplied by Q minus R. In the same way, B by Q will be equal to half into 2A plus Q minus 1 into D whole expression multiplied by R minus P. Then plus C by R, that is equal to half into 2A plus R minus 1 into D. This expression is multiplied by P minus Q. So we did nothing there, just we wrote what is A by P, B by Q and C by R. After that, in the left hand side, we just substituted the values there. Now we can check how we can simplify it there. So just to check, half is common in all the expression. So half taken common. Now inside the bracket we can check what will remain there. 2A will be multiplied by Q minus R. So just write down there 2A into Q minus R plus this expression also will get multiplied by Q minus R. So it will be equal to P minus 1 into D into Q minus R plus half already we have taken common. 2A will be multiplied by R minus P. Then plus Q minus 1 into D also multiplied by R minus P plus 2A multiplied by P minus Q plus R minus 1 into D multiplied by P minus Q. So till here it is clear? Okay. Half into, just do it slowly only. Okay. Now we can check in which terms we have 2A there. 2A is there, then in this term we have 2A and in this one also. So shall we take 2A common from these three terms? Okay, so 2A taken outside. Inside the bracket what will remain? In the first term, Q minus R will remain. In the second one, R minus P will remain. And in the third one, P minus Q will remain there. Okay, from these three terms taken 2A common. In the same way, from the remaining terms, D is common only, take it outside there. Now, inside the bracket, what will remain? P minus 1 into Q minus R. So, I am just doing the multiplication. It will be equal to PQ minus PR minus 1 into Q minus Q minus 1 into minus R plus R. First expression is only over there. Now, from here, D taken common, so remaining it will be equal to plus QR minus PQ minus R plus P. Then, from here, it will be equal to plus PR minus QR minus P plus Q. Okay, is it clear? Okay, half into 2A into, now just to check this expression there, P and minus P will get cancelled, minus R plus R cancelled, Q and minus Q cancelled. So it will be equal to 2A into 0 plus D into, check in this expression if anything will get cancelled there, plus PQ minus PQ cancelled, minus PR plus PR cancelled, minus Q plus Q cancelled, plus R minus R cancelled, plus QR minus QR plus P minus P. Everything got cancelled. Then we will get there D into 0. So this expression, it will be equal to 0. Okay. I hope this question is clear. Okay. Now we can check the next question. In the third question it is written, the ratio of the sum of m and n terms of an AP is m square is to n square. The ratio of sum of m and n terms of an AP means same AP only. So we can take A as the first term and D is the common difference. So ratio of sum of M and N terms means what is given? Sm by Sn is equal to M square is to N square. So M square by N square. This information is given. Now we have to prove that the sum of mth and nth term, the ratio is equal to 2m minus 1 is to 2n minus 1. Now we can check how we can do this question there. Sm, according to the formula, what will come? Sm is equal to, yes, m by 2 into 2a plus m minus 1 into d whole divided by Sn, n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to m square by n square. Now what we can do, just to check here, this 2 and 2 will get cancelled there. Now this m, if I will shift there to right hand side, where it will go? Yes, it will go to denominator and this n will go to numerator there. So remaining it will be equal to 2a plus m minus 1 into d by 2a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to m square by n square into n by n. So here one m and n will get cancelled. So remaining it will be equal to 2a plus m minus 1 into d by 2a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to m by n. Till here it is clear? Okay. Now just to check in the question what we need. We need now here two conditions are there. Either you can simplify it. So shall we simplify it? Okay. Then here what we have to do? Yes, we have to do the cross multiplication. Then it will be equal to n will get multiplied by both the terms. So 2an plus mn minus n into d is equal to, here what will come? 2am plus mn minus m into d. Now as we did in the previous question, we can shift all the expression to left hand side. Then it will be equal to 2an plus mn minus n into d minus 2am minus of mn minus m into d is equal to 0. Now just to check anything common here. Yes, from these two terms what we can take common? 2a taken common. Then inside the bracket what will remain? N minus m. Correct? Now from here can we take d common? Okay. Then inside the bracket we can check what will remain? mn minus n. Here minus will get multiplied. So plus mn plus m plus mn not minus mn minus into minus plus m equal to 0. Now here mn and mn will get cancelled there. Now just to check, in these two terms we have a difference of negative sign only. Okay. So 2a into n minus m written as it is there. From here I am taking the negative sign outside. So it will become minus d. Now here positive will become negative, negative will become positive. N minus m equal to 0. Now just to check, n minus m is common. So we can take it outside there. Then it will be equal to n minus m into 2a minus d is equal to 0. Now n minus m we will shift to right hand side. Then it will be equal to 2a minus d is equal to 0. Or what we can write? Yes, d is equal to 2a. So we got here d is equal to 2a. Now what we have to calculate? The ratio of mth and nth term. Nth term there. So we have to calculate what will be am by an. So according to the formula, am can be written as a plus m minus 1 into d by an can be written as a plus n minus 1 into d. Now just to substitute the value there. In place of d what we have? 2a. So it will be equal to a plus m minus 1 into 2a by denominator also a plus n minus 1 into 2a. Do the multiplication, then we will get there a plus 2am minus 2a by a plus 2an minus 2a. So we'll get there 2am, a minus 2a will be equal to minus a by 2an minus a. What is common here? A. So a taken outside. Inside the bracket remaining it will be equal to 2m minus 1. Similarly from denominator also taken a common. So a and a will get cancelled. We will get the ratio as 2m minus 1 by 2n minus 1. So I think this question is clear. Now in the next question we have, if the sum of n terms of an AP is 4n square minus n. Sum of n terms is equal to 4n square minus n and its mth term is 107. Mth term means am is equal to 107 is given. We have to find the value of m. So if we need the value of m, we should know what is the first term and common difference of the AP. So to calculate that, this information is given. I am just giving you one example there. Okay. Suppose I have an AP in this way. 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 in this way. Okay. So if I am taking only one term of the AP. So what is that? First term is equal to 1. Now, if I will add that one, then what will come? Sum of one term will be equal to 1 only because I have taken one term only there. Now, what is the second term of the AP? 3. And what is the sum of two terms of the AP? 1 plus 3, 4. So, just check, these two are not equal there. A2 and S2, they are different there. Okay. So if S2 is given, how we can calculate the second term there? So just check, sum of first term will be equal to same as the first term. Now when we are taking two terms there, so to get the second term, what we will do? We will do S2 minus S1. Okay. Now in the same way, if you have to find out the third term, again it will go on continuation there. So we will not do much there. So first we need what is S1, S2, etc. there. So substitute n is equal to 1. Then we will get S1 is equal to 4 into 1 square. 4 minus 1. So we will get S1 is equal to 3. So S1 will be equal to the first term of the AP. So there only you can write S1 is equal to 3, which is equal to A. Now what we will calculate? We will calculate S2. In place of n, substitute 2. So it will be equal to 4 into 2 square. 2 square is 4 minus 2. Now don't do the subtraction here. First we have to do the multiplication. 4 4s are 16. 16 minus 2, 14. This is not the second term. How we will calculate the second term? Using S2 minus S1. So just write down there. Second term will be equal to 14 minus 3. 14 minus 3 will be equal to 11. So we got the second term is equal to 11. And first term of the AP is 3. So what will be the common difference? Yes, second term minus first term. 11 minus 3 is equal to 8. So we got the first term and common difference of the AP. Now we can use this information. AM is equal to 107 is given. So according to the formula, AM means that is A plus M minus 1 into D is equal to 107. Now just substitute the value. A is equal to 3. So 3 plus M minus 1 into D is equal to 8 is equal to 107. Now can we shift 3 to right hand side? Okay, then it will be equal to M minus 1 into 8 is equal to 107 minus 3. And 107 minus 3 will be equal to 104. Now we can shift 8 to right hand side. Then we will get M minus 1 is equal to 108 divided by 104 divided by 8. So shall I cancel it directly there? 8 ones are 8, 8 threes are 24. So we will get there m is equal to 14. Now here if you don't want to shift 3 to right hand side, here you can multiply. Then it will be equal to 8m minus 8. And in that way also you can do. So it depends on you how you want to make it easy. That depends on your choice only. Okay. Now we can check the next question. In the next question, it is written between 1 and 31. Between 1 and 31, how many numbers have been inserted? M numbers are inserted there. Between 1 and 31. Suppose between 1 and 31, if I am inserting 8 numbers, I am putting here 8 numbers. So total how many terms will be there? Yes, this will be the 9th number and this will be the 10th number. Correct? Clear? In between 1 and 31, if suppose I am inserting 8 numbers, means now this sequence is in AP with first term is equal to 1 and last term is equal to 31. So can you tell me what will be the last term? If total 8 numbers are there, in between them, 1 will be the 9th number and 31 will be equal to the 10th number. Correct? So in the same way, in the question it is written between 1 and 31, how many numbers are inserted? M numbers are inserted. So between these two, M numbers are there. So that 1 will be the next term. Next term means that is M plus 1th term. Clear? So 31 will be equal to, yes, correct, M plus 2th term. So write down there. M plus 2 is equal to 31 is given. Is it clear? Between these two numbers, we inserted M numbers there. So this one will be the next term. The next term means that is M plus 1th term. So obviously 31 will be equal to M plus 2th term. Now we can substitute the value according to the formula. M plus 2 will be equal to A plus M plus 2 minus 1 into D. A plus N minus 1 into D. In place of N we have M plus 2 is equal to 31. Now A is given, substitute the value there. 1 plus M plus 1 into D is equal to 31. Now we can shift this 1 there, so it will be equal to 30. So M plus 1 into D is equal to 30. M plus 1 into D is equal to 30. Is it clear? Okay. Now we can check what is the next information given there. In the next information they are saying the ratio of 7th and M minus 1th number. Again, between 1 and 31, M numbers are inserted. And they are talking about the 7th number. The number which is inserted in that 7th number and M minus 1th number. So just to check there, the numbers which we inserted in that, this is the 7th number. So if you will check the AP, now the resulting sequence is in AP there. So this is the first term of the AP. So obviously the second number, the first number which you inserted, that will be the second term of the AP. The second number which you inserted, that will be the third term of the AP. So similarly, the 7th number which you inserted, what will be that one? Yes, that will be the 8th term of the AP. Is it clear? 7th number it is saying. So 7th number means this one is extra there. So that will be the 8th term of the AP. What we did plus 1 there. 7 plus 1th term, because this one we have to add there. In the same way, M minus 1th number means M minus 1 plus 1. So this will get cancelled. We will get there AM is equal to what is given? The ratio of 7th and M minus 1th number is 5:9. So 5 by 9 is given in the question. Now we can simplify it. According to the formula, A8 will be equal to a plus 7d by a plus m minus 1 into d is equal to 5 by 9. Now a is already given 1 there. So 1 plus 7 into, in place of d what we can write? From here d can be written as 30 by m plus 1. So in place of d I am going to write 30 by m plus 1. Similarly here also 1 plus m minus 1 into 30 by m plus 1 is equal to 5 by 9. Now we can simplify it. Here we will do the cross multiplication, then it will be equal to m plus 1 plus 7 3s are 21. So 210 by m plus 1 whole divided by, here also cross multiplication, then it will be equal to m plus 1 plus 30 will get multiplied inside, 30m minus 30 by m plus 1 is equal to 5 by 9. Now here m plus n and m plus 1 will get cancelled there. So remaining will get there m plus 211 by, here 30m plus m will be equal to 31m minus 29 is equal to 5 by 9. Now what we can do? Yes, we can do the cross multiplication. Cross multiplication, it means 9 we will shift to left hand side. Then it will be equal to 9m plus 9 ones are 9, 9 ones are 9, 9 twos are 18 is equal to 5 into 31. So 5 ones are 5, 5 threes are 15. 155m minus 5 into 29. 5 nines are 45. Carry over 4. 5 twos are 10. 10 plus 4 will be equal to 14. Now in which term m is there, that we can shift to left hand side, or that we can shift to right hand side, and this one we can shift here. So it will be equal to 1899 plus 145 is equal to 155m minus 9m. Now this one we can add 9 plus 5 14, carry over 1. 9 plus 4 13, 13 plus 1 14, carry over 1. 8 plus 1 9, 9 plus 1 10, carry over 1. So it will be equal to 2044 is equal to 146m. So now we can cancel it here. 2044 by 146 is equal to m. So I think division you can do by yourself. Okay. So do the division and write down what will be the value of m. So I think this question is clear. Okay. So today we are discussing the questions from your textbook only. Okay, the remaining questions are these questions are the remaining questions. So that mostly all the questions from your textbook only. Okay, now we can check the next question. In the next question it is written, the difference between any two consecutive interior angles of a polygon is 5 degree. Means what is given? Difference is 5 degree. D is equal to 5 degree and the smallest number is 120. The smallest angle is 120 degree. Find the number of sides of the polygon. Number of sides we have to calculate there. So again this is given. We need the relation in sum there. Okay. So according to the formula of AP, what will be the sum of n terms? So we will suppose that this polygon has n sides. So just write down there, let the polygon has n sides. Let the polygon has n sides. So Sn, according to the formula, Sn will be equal to n by 2 into 2a. In place of a what we have? 120 degree. So 2 into 120 degree plus n minus 1 into d. In place of d we have 5. So just to simplify it, n by 2 into 120. So it will be equal to 240 plus 5n minus 5, or 5n, it will be equal to n by 2 into 5n plus 240 minus 5 will be equal to, yes, 235. Shall we multiply that n inside? Okay, so it will be equal to 5n square plus 235n whole divided by 2. This is sum of n terms of this polygon there. Now, according to the formula, what will be sum of all the angles? This is sum of all the angles only. Sum of all the angles of a polygon with n sides there. Now, I am just giving you an example there. In a triangle, how many sides are there? 3 sides are there. And what is sum of all the angles of a triangle? Triangle is 180 degree. In a quadrilateral, how many sides are there? 4 sides are there. And sum of all is equal to 360 degree. So just to check here, what we have 180 into 1. This one, if we have to write in terms of 180, it will be equal to 180 into 2. So just to check, how many sides were there? 3 sides. And here what we wrote here? 1. Means 3 minus 2, 1. Here how many sides were there? 4. Here what we wrote? 2. 4 minus 2, 2. So if a polygon with n sides, sum of all the angles will be equal to n minus 2 into 180 degree. This is a formula there. So you can write down there, sum of all the angles of a polygon, sum of all the angles of a polygon with n sides is equal to n minus 2 into 180 degree. According to the formula, sum of all the angles of a polygon with n sides will be equal to n minus 2 into 180 degree. But already we got sum of all the angles of the polygon is this much. So what we will do? Now we will equate these two. So write down there. Now here it will be equal to 5n square plus 235n by 2 is equal to n minus 2 into 180 degree. So 180 degree I am multiplying there. So it will be equal to 180n minus 180 into 2. So that will be equal to 360 degree. Now 2 we can shift there. Yes, then it will be equal to 5n square plus 235n is equal to 18 2s are 360. So 360n minus 720. Now since we are getting a quadratic equation, we can shift all the expression to one side there. Okay, so shifting to left hand side, then we will get 5n square plus 235n minus 360n plus 720 is equal to 0. Just to do the subtraction, 5n square, here it will be equal to negative there, 360 minus 235. So it will be equal to 10 minus 5, 5 minus 3, 2, 3 minus 2, 1. Clear? Okay, I think this is correct. 5 plus 5, 10. 3 plus 2, 2 plus 1, 3. Minus 125n plus 720 is equal to 0. Now just to check, all the expressions are divisible by 5. So to make our calculation easy, we can divide the whole expression by 5. So we'll get there n square minus 25n plus 5 ones are 5, 7 minus 5, 2. So 5 fours are 20. 144 is equal to 0. So either we can find out the value of n by quadratic formula or by factorization method, splitting the middle term. So shall I use splitting the middle term? 144 we want as the product and the sum should be equal to 25. 16 and 9. So we will write down there n square minus 16n minus 9n plus 144 is equal to 0. Common factor in these two terms, n taken outside. So inside the bracket n minus 16. From here common term will be equal to, yes, minus 9. Inside the bracket n minus 9 ones are 9, 14 minus 9, 5. N minus 16 is equal to 0. So we are getting here n minus 16 into n minus 9 is equal to 0. So we are getting two sides for the polygon there. n is equal to 16 and n is equal to 9. How it is possible? If a polygon is there, it should have a minimum there, a limited, definite one there. But here we are getting two answers. So one should be wrong there. So we can check how we can identify which one is wrong there. And since our smallest angle is 120 degree and common difference is 5. Now we can check what will be our last angle there. So if n is equal to 16, if n is equal to 16, we can check what will be A16, means the last angle of that AP there. So the last angle, according to the formula, it will be equal to A plus 15D. Now just to substitute the value, I think A is equal to 120 degree plus 15 into common difference is 5 there. Then we will get here 120 plus 15 5s are 75, which is equal to 195 degree. 195 degree is not possible. You might be thinking, why it is not possible 195 degree? Because in a polygon, any measure of any interior angle should be less than 180 degree. So you can write down the reason. This is not possible because in a polygon, measure of any interior angle should be less than 180 degree. So n is equal to 16 is not possible. So therefore you can write down the answer, n is equal to 9. I think this is clear. Okay. Now we have to do one more question there, but before doing that question, you should know the concept of arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is nothing. You know how to calculate the mean of any two numbers there. So just we are relating it to the concept of AP. If suppose two numbers are there, 2 and 4. How you are calculating the arithmetic mean of that number? Yes, that will be equal to, two numbers are there, 2 plus 4 divided by 2. So 6 by 2 will be equal to 3. Arithmetic means that is the middle number which we are getting there. So now if we will relate this to AP, if three numbers are there, A, B, C, if they are in AP, then we know when we are saying the numbers are in AP, when their difference is same, means B minus A should be equal to C minus B. Now this B, if I will shift here, then it will be equal to 2B is equal to A plus C, or we can write down B is equal to A plus C by 2. So just to check, A and C are two numbers there. So what we have calculated? We have calculated the mean of A and C, and that is called the arithmetic mean. So here B is the arithmetic mean of A and C. Okay, so to calculate the arithmetic, what you will do? Just add the two numbers and divide it by 2. So I hope the concept of mean is clear. Okay. Now the next question is written, for what value of n? For what value of n? A raised to n plus 1 plus B raised to n plus 1 by A raised to n plus B raised to n is the arithmetic mean of A and B. Is the arithmetic mean of A and B. Arithmetic mean of A and B. We know what is the arithmetic mean of A and B? Yes, that is equal to A plus B by 2. According to the question, it is given this is the arithmetic mean of A and B. But we know arithmetic mean of A and B is equal to A plus B by 2. Is it clear why I wrote this expression? Okay. Now we will simplify it and we will find out the value of n. So first what we can do? Yes, we can do the cross multiplication here. So 2 will be multiplied by both the terms. Then it will be equal to 2 into A raised to n plus 1 plus 2 into B raised to n plus 1 is equal to, now here A raised to n will be multiplied by both the terms. A raised to n into A. A raised to n into A. If no power is there, means what is the power? Yes, 1. So it will be equal to A raised to n plus 1. So we will write down there A raised to n plus 1 A raised to n into b, that we will write down as it is. A raised to n into b plus b raised to n will be multiplied by both the terms. So it will be equal to b raised to n into a plus again b raised to n into b. So that will be equal to b raised to n plus 1. Now just to check here, here also we have 2 into a raised to n plus 1 and here we have a raised to n plus 1. So if I will shift this expression here to 2 minus 1. So what will come there? A raised to n plus 1. As we are doing 2x minus x. So that will be equal to x only. Same concept only used there. So here also 2 into b raised to n plus 1 minus b raised to n plus 1 will give you plus b raised to n plus 1 is equal to. Now here what we have? A raised to n into b plus b raised to n into a. Now we can check how we can split it there. We know x raised to m into x raised to n can be written as x raised to m plus n. So in the same way, converse also we can write x raised to m plus n can be written as x raised to m into x raised to n. So in the same way, a raised to n plus 1 can be written as a raised to n into a. Similarly, b raised to n plus 1 can be written as b raised to n into b raised to 1. So I am writing as b only. Equal to a raised to n into b plus b raised to n into a. Now in which term we have a raised to n, that we are writing together, and in which term we have b raised to n, that we are writing together. So from these two, just to check here, a raised to n I am shifting to left hand side. So a raised to n into a minus a raised to n into b equal to here b raised to n into a minus b raised to n into b. Now what we can take common here? A raised to n taken common. Inside the bracket what will remain? A minus b. Here what we have common? B raised to n. Inside the bracket what will remain? A minus b. Now just to check here, if this a minus b, I will shift to right hand side. What will happen? Yes, both will get cancelled there. So remaining we are getting here a raised to n equal to b raised to n. Here we have to find out the value of n. So now what we will do? We'll shift this b raised to n to left hand side in this way. A raised to n divided by b raised to n equal to 1. Okay, I shifted in terms of division there. Not a raised to n minus b raised to n I wrote there. Okay, so that's why here 1 is coming, because in multiplication and division least number is 1 there. Okay, multiplicative identity. Now here this can be written as a by b whole raised to n is equal to 1. What does this expression means? A number raised to something is equal to 1. Okay, a number raised to something equal to 1 there. A number raised to what gives you 1? Any number raised to, yes, any number raised to 0 only equal to 1 there. So any number raised to 0 only will give you the value 1. So what should be the value of n? Yes, n should be equal to 0. I think this question is clear. Okay, so all of you note down your homework. Your homework will be equal to your homework exercise 9.2. In exercise 9.2 you have to do question number 10, 13 and 15. So do these questions. Just some questions only I marked there. One is of this type. So you can do the question, and please in case of any doubt you can ask. Okay. So just do it. Thank you.